everybody, and welcome to Tales Does Tales. I had like 18 different titles in my head, and they were all wrong until I found that one. Tales is Tales, where we hear Tales of Initiative play through Tales from the Yawning Portal with an Eldritch twist, but not today. Although, we'll get to that change in a second. First, the non-change, I am still here. Hi, I'm your GM, Matt, and I'm here with my delightfully daring and frighteningly fantastic cast of players. Bun, who disappeared. There she is. Who's back? Bun. Bun. Haley.
I was waiting for my dramatic
I'm
entrance.
sorry. Bun, Haley, and Mark. Pow. They're all here. Well, not all. That's sad. Raz and Danny are sadly not here. They will be back next week. I'm such a dingus. Oh, my brain will stop being smooth here in a second. I promise. Look. I say one mad thing, and then half my they're gone. No, they're back. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Oh wait, are we leaving?
No. Come back.
No, I remembered the light above me
Matt.
was on, and I was wondering why I was like squinting, and I was like, "That's why." Got too many lights on.
It's too bright in here. Amazing. Okay, here we go. We're back. This is the first time we've been back, at least this show, in our new time slot. Hello, Tuesdays. Hello, nurse. We are not on Mondays anymore. We're on Tuesdays.
It's an emotional adjustment for me, honestly.
It's always been a Tuesday for me. Now it's Wednesday.
Now it's Wednesday. Am I the only one who gets Animaniacs intrusive quotes? Am I the only one? I got Mark on that one.
You're the only one that'll say them out loud.
I'm the only,
yeah,
that's fair. Fair distinguishment to make. But yeah, we are on Tuesdays now. Same time, different day, same spookiness. We're gonna get into the spooky in just a second. But to frame everything else that's going on, we're back from New Year's. How's everybody's holidays? I haven't caught up with y'all, actually. Have a good one?
I got sick during Christmas, but then I got better for New Year's.
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
I had like 3 weeks of sick,
Oh.
so
Okay, so
it
we're
went from one to the other to the other.
We're just brushing on past the holidays. Nothing to report. Moving along swiftly.
Let's-
Excellent.
Yeah, let's
Perfect.
move on.
Excellent.
I'm here to game.
I'm here to game, not talk about the past. I don't live in the past.
I'm already too far in the future. I'm already looking forward to next holidays.
Yeah. Tales at Large has been back. We've already had some tabletop test kitchen, which was fantastic. Seeing some flabbergasted going on. We had some TPK. How was TPK last night? Y'all had two episodes already back.
Yeah, we've had 2 episodes back, and it was good. It was great, actually. We're having the time of our lives. We did a 5-foot episode where we went around in a circle. We made it 5 feet out from where we were when we started the episode, and then walked back to where we started by the end of the episode. It was one of those days. But that's okay. Now we're prepared to move forward after just much discussion.
Sometimes you need that planning session. That's how I want to say. That's how you know that the actual play isn't like overly edited. Is when you get to see the planning, and you're like, one day they'll do a thing, and then but it's real. It's real. That's what real D&D is.
Yeah. Well, we thought it was just going to be a couple of dice rolls to get through the sewers, but it was a map. So we needed to rest. More than we thought. So we backtracked. We're allowed. We're people.
Yeah, you're allowed.
People doing people things.
It's 100% allowed.
Yeah, no. Fun.
Y'all have gotten 5,000 steps out of a 1,000 foot dungeon so far in Tales of Tales, so
Yes.
you have covered ground.
You gotta explore every nook and crevice.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because the other group were just like, "This is the way out," and I'm like, "But we haven't checked the other."
We didn't complete the Fog of War, guys. We're not gonna get the achievement.
I need the loot.
I need the loot. Give me the loot. Wish I was musically inclined, because then I could have a loot off to the side, and every time I make that joke, I would play a little bit of loot. But I'm not. and
That
so
would,
you
yeah.
just get-
That'd be nice. I think
You
about
could
it all
just
the time.
soundboard a loot strum.
could.
I think about all the time with dancing. Like, I wish that I could just pull out just like fire dance moves at any point in time. But it just doesn't exist for me. It just doesn't.
Who's the guy that's in charge of the office in the American version? What's his name? Michael. Yes. That's the most Michael from The Office thing you've ever said to me. I just wish I could do dance moves. Like,
see? Could you imagine if you could actually dance right now instead of that?
touch it on me. I'll remember this.
He's got to practice his dad dance moves.
I do. I've got
to
those on
embarrass
lock.
your child.
I've got those on lock. Don't worry.
Gotta whip that nene in front of Jane.
I am teaching her
front
to
of Jana's
floss,
friends.
and it's gonna be great when she starts doing that. Okay.
Oh, she's gonna be favorite of sport. Okay, done.
No. We're all dumb, and by dumb, I mean having a good time. Speaking of having a good time, if you would like to have a good time in real life, go get a thing from our sponsors, because they got cool stuff that'll help you have a good time in life all the time. Kapow! Go join our Discord if you would like to talk games, all things gaming, including our shows, what's coming up. Hi Anna! Hello! I see you in chat! So join our Discord, and you can also, if you would like to not just talk to us, but actually inform what's going to happen in the shows as we go, you can join our Patreon, where you can vote on all of the kinds of things that are going to go happen. You might see a little Easter egg of things to come in from Patreon into the now. That was a junk sentence. Ignore that sentence existed. I'm excited for today. That's because Mom, when I'm on stage, inquire, how do I hide my spawner? Jesus. Hey, Verbals. Hey, we've had our what's the phrase? Patreon, Discord, spawners, and boners. What's the yeah? We've had it all, and now
Boners, Patreon, Discord. I can't remember.
It was your mantra for like
New Year.
3
Start
weeks,
your
but now
New Year right with a
I have it written down. Boners, Patreon, Discord.
nailed it. We didn't do it in that order, but we got all 4. Heck yes. Okay, so what are we doing today? Because hey, we've been back. We're back from holidays that will not be mentioned in detail. We got sick. Sick sucks, and we're gonna go back to playing games. Which game we're playing today? You will notice not everyone's here, and to accommodate some of that, but we just wanted to do this anyways. We're gonna play The Beckoning Dream, which you saw for a little bit on Wednesdays / Haley's Thursdays, when we did it over on with the Vigalia crew. And now we're gonna do some tarot card coolness. Oh, it does get a little bit blue screened for me with these backs, but that's okay. We're gonna do some tarot card gaming with The Beckoning Dream. I'm super excited. We are gonna be diving back into where we left off with Grimma's Fist, which, hey, for bonus points, in a game that doesn't matter whose line is it anyway, for bonus points, who would like to remind us what happened last time we did a Grimma's Fist thing?
We were in a jar, and we fought, and we got out of the jar.
So much quicker than what was previously happening.
You know what? It's quick, it's effective, it's pithy. It hit all the high points.
Yes. Rift and Reba looked at each other like, were we taking too long before?
No, it's just you didn't have enough manpower. Because look, it's like, imagine like trying to get through like with like 2 players, and then all of a sudden you have like an actual full party for a raid. Like that's just what happened. You just had more manpower.
Yeah. Yes, you were able to navigate through the 7 Demon Jar, finding various new people to join Rift and Reaper as they went through, and you have now escaped and are back with Grimma. Assuming that Charisma, Sari, and Pam were just sort of like, hey, we got nothing else to do, and you have a paycheck, we'll come along.
What's a paycheck?
What? Building off of the "What's a CV" joke from our previous run of Grimma's Fist. Pam is bringing everyone up to speed on all of the HR stuff, all of that necessary. T's crossed, I's dotted. Oh, amazing.
It's
I
okay.
need a Pam in my
Sorry's
life,
gonna be
man.
like, oh, you mean a contract? We're forming a contract together. I know what those are.
Forming a pact.
A blood pact.
A blood
Cut
pact.
hand.
You're not gonna pay me in coin. You're gonna pay me in blood. Give.
Yep. I don't know. Don't know what the. I don't know if our income tax software will support payments in blood, but we'll do our best.
Just compare it to black market rates.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me carve out your liver.
Your solstice bonus will be a nice Chianti to go with that. Some fava beans. This joke is ridiculous. Okay.
Long.
Some time has passed. Rift, Reaper, Sorry, Pam, and Charisma have all been essentially chilling, just allowed to kind of take a breather, relax, and you are all under the protective wing of Grimma Banesalt, who is, I don't know, what is your thoughts? I want to get like Sorry and Charisma's perspective, because Rift is old time buddies with Grimma, but you've basically got this little short king, this Duragar, who is clearly like the kind that leads from the front, has far more like adventuring experience than managerial experience, but is still very much like kingly and like wields respect a bit like a bludgeon. So what is Sorry and Charisma's vibe?
I gotta think for a moment, because the first thing that popped into my head was he obviously got here through nepotism.
Sorry's entire goal is sneaking up on him.
Oh man, okay, I kind of love
She'll
that.
just continuously like he. Hello, Sorry. Damn it. Okay, not this time.
I think there's
Get you next time.
what at first is like, do we need to be worried about this, sir? Quickly becomes like, nah, she's fine. This is great. This is a silly
Keeps
little
me
game.
on my toes.
Yeah, keeps me on my toes. She's keeping me sharp. She's better than you. Yeah, show a little bit more of this go-getter attitude.
Like finds a way to spider climb down the
Mhm.
throne to try getting him, and he's just like, "Where are you coming from?"
What are you doing? I can see you.
Is not
But no,
a
I
rogue.
think I feel like Charisma would be kind of first on the neutral side, just to kind of be like, okay, what is his aims? Like, does he abuse his power at all? Does he abuse the people under him? Like, I need to know the qualifications of his like kingly power.
Yeah.
And then if it's like, the little boxes are checked, it's like, you are respectable, sir.
He
This is
seemed.
excellent.
I love the read of he's a guy who got there by nepotism. I think that like he probably has some sort of like hereditary own to the throne. Like that's how he maybe got in line for this. But he also seems like a dude that has very much cemented himself by force of will and power. Like he's a guy that he's not going to be Darth Vader randomly choking out a dude because they disagreed, but he is definitely the guy who wields carrot and stick with equal brutality, and seems like someone that demands respect because he will absolutely reward you for like doing a good job, and so he wants to do a good job as well. And you're seeing a little bit of like definitely maybe why Reaper isn't or Rift is involved here, is that like if you're in his good graces, you're being treated very well. High 5-star accommodations, like no real worry. You're maybe falling into this routine where it's like, wait, what do we even do here? Like what's our job? We're just hanging out. And it's about at that time that Grimma does indeed call you in for a briefing. He has something for you to do. For the purposes of just like object permanence, Pam and Reaper are also there in this conversation. They're just going to be quiet.
It's week on, week off type of work. It's quite
Yes.
nice, actually.
He's a Jarl. He tells us to raid, we raid.
Yes, very much so.
This is what we do.
Big
Pirates
Jarl
like
vibes.
women.
Yeah.
No
Sorry,
different
it's
than
just
being
like,
commanded
yeah,
by
no.
God to do stuff, so.
That is a really good word that I should have had earlier in the quiver. Just big Jarl vibes. That's very solid, yes.
That's what you get when you have a barbarian child around you. He does not call him king, calls him Jarl. It's just like...
Excellent. So yes, he calls you in, the five of you, and explains, I've been tasked, and you notice that there is another figure with a dark wooden mask that's sort of spiralized into a single eye hole at the back of the room. With, who could that be? There's a by the way, thanks to Patreon. The whole reason that this arc gets to happen that I'm very excited for is because Patreon voted on these two having a rather amicable discussion a few arcs back. So thanks to Patreon, we're going to do some neat stuff, some crossover stuff between the Grimma's Fist and the Pebblecule.
I ship it.
I ship it.
I still need details on their date.
There's been no, I will neither confirm nor deny if there has been a date between Papa and Grimma. It's unknown. I have an interesting proposal from a friend of mine. He sort of gestures over his shoulder at the weird, mysterious figure. Some new magic. I am not a sorceress kind. I don't really understand it. I don't use it that much. But I respect those who have knowledge of the arcane, and I have been told that there's some potentially something that could help me and also my friend over there. And if you don't mind, I've recommended each of you, as seeing as how three of you popped out of a weird jar, for all intents and purposes, and the other two went into and survived said weird jar, that you have some experience traversing the realms of the unseen, and you're gonna be guinea pigs, is kind of what I'm building up to here. I don't really know how to frame that in any better way, but basically, Friendo over here has some really weird magic that they'd like to try out on you. Are you game for... How did you frame it? And the figure moves from the back of the room, and you will be venturing into the Dreamlands. It is an area of shared subconscious. It is formed by imagination rather than physics. Wood can be as metal and metal as water, so long as you think it true. I would like you to go there and seek out information that can only be found in such a place.
Sorry, just leans into the others. Are they certain that's not the Fey realm? That sounds like the Fey realm.
I think there's been plenty of research into this to discern the difference. You can ask them what the difference is if you want.
Oh, what's the difference?
A little cock of like the mask, and was about to call on the very politely raised hand, and then just like gets diverted to the spontaneous question. The Feywild, it might seem similar. The Feywild is certainly a land of emotions and unfettered wilderness, but it's not quite the same as the dream space. Yes.
So just a question that I have is, will this bring us any bodily harm, or is this going to be a situation to which you are going to be separating our physical forms from our subconscious forms?
The simplest answer I can give is yes. Part of this trial is to experiment with how much your physicality is impacted by the transposition of your psyche into the Dreamlands. The Dreamlands is a metaphysical space, meaning you can go there with your body. You won't be, and I would like to see how that affects you.
Sounds interesting. What are we looking for?
I'm looking for information as to how one might capture, control, or lacking those two options, hunt and kill a tailed beast.
What's a tailed beast?
And where would we find one?
They are powerful creatures, amalgamations of axiomatic properties. They exist in the Dreamlands, sort of the same way that hurricanes, volcanoes, dragons, krakens, those sorts of things exist in our world.
Your world.
Sure.
Question, have you asked a Halishtar potentially any of these things? I hear that they're connected to the Land of Dreams.
Unfortunately, Kalishtar are relatively rare, so I have not had the pleasure of getting to interrogate one. That said, it is certainly on my list of possibilities should this prove futile.
So what if we just capture one of those instead? And we just kind of shake them.
If you are able to capture one, that is most excellent. And I can assure you, you will be properly compensated.
Got it. Bring both.
Bring both of what?
Yeah, both of what?
Both of what?
Oh, one of the Kalistars and one of the other things.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a 2-for-1. Yeah, that's very smart. Sorry.
Alright.
I can do that sometimes.
Grimma sort of leans over to the standing masked figure and is like, she is really proactive. Or just genuinely a go-getter. A little bit hectic, you never know what you're gonna get, but gets it.
Just like
No.
thinking about how I'm gonna rein these two in as I shuffle around them with a responsible glare. What do we do then?
If you are prepared and willing, this way. And they start to walk into another room. And Grimma kind of gives this gets up from his seat and gives this sort of like hold back gesture to Rift, before everyone else goes in and sort of just
I
waylays the
gesture
group.
to the other two. I gesture to the other two to move forward.
And he just quickly grabs the other two as well and is just sort of
Oh.
okay. Just real quick. I've asked that Reaper be also brought in on sort of the magical side, and so she's going to stay back and help run this crazy bamboozle of a ritual that I don't really understand, but I'm assuming will be very good for all of us. The other part of this, I've been trying to track a lead, and I cannot get any progress here in this realm. So what I was wondering is, if you could go poking around while you're poking around, maybe you could figure something out. I am looking for the Morrigan. She's powerful, weird entity, I think 6 or something eyes, kind of wild. The sage says you can't die in a dream. That's at least pretty sure. But I know I've had dreams of death, right? Either my own or somebody else's. So I figure if I can't find the Morrigan here, then I bet you my right arm that old crone likes to hide out in dreams when she ain't busy. Because like having your cake and eating it too, you'll be able to kill somebody without messing up the ledgers. So I think she's there. Just, if you can, while you're doing the other thing, just kind of keep an eye out. Keep an ear and an eye out for her.
Indeed.
I don't see an issue, but I am curious. Do you specifically see your death or the moment before your death?
See that? And that's what I don't know. It's one of those things where you wake up simultaneously, like, was I dead and then I came back? Like, it's dreams. Dreams are funky. So, yeah.
Oh, you wake up when that happens?
I typically wake up. Do you just stay dead?
Well, sometimes I do, and then sometimes apparently I just kind of stay there in a stasis.
Okay, we should unpack that when you get back. Yeah.
I'm just gonna start shepherding them away.
Just kind of leans into Grimma like, I think a therapist would be absolutely fantastic.
Yes, let's get one on staff before we return. And I'm just gonna
Specifically one that's familiar with Feywild sickness.
I'll put out a job description. Yeah, team therapists or make sure
That's
the job.
what Pam is doing.
Yeah. Pam starts like side chatting with Grimma and like oh I can draft that up. Like, oh, this is great. You have administrative assistance background a little bit.
All right, let's just leave them two to figure out the nitty-gritty details on that. Let's go to our masked friend.
You are brought into a room. There are several like sort of those like really sculpted like layback chairs that aren't like movable, but they still put you in this really relaxed, like not like seated but almost prone position. And as you are getting to seat in those, it very quickly you feel that sleepiness come over you. You feel that just like drift into a state of relaxation. And you begin to slide into a dream. And now we are going to shift into doing dream construction as per the Beckoning dream. We're going to do everything that would normally be at the front of a session, but we're doing the whole like system within a system, which is one of the ways you can use Beckoning dream. If you want to use Beckoning dream to do like, hey, a dream sequence but mechanical, you can use it as that inside of like another campaign. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And for dream construction, here's what we're going to do. I've got some major arcana that I've got over here, and then you all are going to shuffle your 3 decks, and you are going to you are going to give me 1 random card before we start. Okay, so shuffle, and then
should we mention a little bit more about the game for those that might not be familiar?
Yes, that is a good
with
point.
it.
If you are not familiar, the Beckoning Dream is a tarot card-based deck builder. So you will build decks of cards using tarot cards, and those decks of cards represent your character based on what they can do, what their capabilities are, as represented by the different suits of the minor arcana, and if you have them, the powers of the major arcana. We are playtesting some new rules. If you watched our previous streams for Beckoning Dream, we did all the same normal deck construction setup, but I believe both, not both, just Bun. Bun is playing with a new optional rule where you can include a major arcana in your starting deck. You still only have 12 cards, and the major arcana basically has value 0 and has no suit. So it's kind of a dead card, but by using it at the beginning, you can rack up extra XP in order to earn one of the major arcana boons that much faster, and major arcana boons are like big, beefy, cool things that you could do with your deck. Okay, and with all of that said, I'm making sure I had one less. Okay. Let's go around. We'll do left to right order as per the stream. Bun, what is your random card? Show me.
All right, so my random card is the 4 of Cups.
The 4 of Cups. Wonderful. Okay, so that is not in your deck right now. So just set it to the side, keep it nearby in case it comes up. Basically a burn
Biscuit.
card.
That's my strongest card.
Sorry.
Mhm.
This is Haley all over again. Haley burned, I
This
think,
is what
her
happened
two
to me.
strongest
I burnt
cards.
my 2 strongest cards the last time we played, and it was
Brutal.
so frustrating. But it happens. I
It-
probably would. I might do it again this time. Might not. Who knows?
We'll see. Haley, what is your card?
We have the 2 of Pentacles.
Hey, see, a perfectly normal number, not your strongest.
Yes.
Perfect.
But
2 of Pentacles.
I only have 2. I only have 3 and 3, so it's a low one. That's all right. Pentacles 3.
And then Mark, what is yours?
I've pulled the 2 of Wands.
Ooh, all right. 2 of
Oh, I like
Wands.
that.
Okay. So your 3 cards combined with my 4 Major Arcana cards are going to form the dream deck. That's what we're going to use to decide what happens in this dream. This is basically your, as Rift, Brain, Rift, Charisma, and Sorry are like falling asleep. Their minds are imparting some sort of subconscious effect onto the dream. And that's what those cards are going to represent. So I'll shuffle that up, be able to draw for those, and then the next thing we're gonna do one more card out of your decks before they're all shuffled up and ready. So draw the next card and we'll do in order again. So Bun, what do you got?
So it's just from the top, or just like any
Just from the
random
top.
spot?
Yeah, I mean, it could be any random spot, technically. It's all shuffled. It's all the
That's
same.
what I did for the 4 of Cups. I was like,
Perfect.
let's just let it rip, baby.
Yink. Yeah, right from the middle. Do it.
The High Priestess.
Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. So we mentioned that Bun is playing with a Major Arcana start. So keep the High Priestess close by. We're going to use that in a sec. Haley, what's yours?
A 3 of Swords.
3 of Swords. And then Mark, what's yours?
The Ace of Wands.
Ace of Wands. Okay, Ace of 2. Okay, not bad. These are going to be your guide cards. So you are going to use those guide cards to answer a question, and that will be your guide. What you want to do is find some sort of visual here, because what's going to happen is as we play, you're going to look for your guide on the artwork of any card, not just yours, but mine, everyone's. And when that guide comes up, it'll let you influence the dream. You can boost that card, degrade that card, all kinds of stuff. So the question I want you to answer using the card you just pulled is, in a world where everything can be bought, sold, or traded, what would you never give up, no matter the price? Mark, I feel like, had like an instant answer. And this is technically like from your character's perspective. And if there's something to like pull meaning out of for you, like the One of Wands, the Ace of Wands, if there's some meaning that the Ace of Wands has to this question, like use that, build off of that.
Okay. Does it have to be the card itself, or can it be like the imagery that's on the card?
imagery,
or...
yeah.
It could be the
Imagery,
imagery,
okay.
it could be the interpretive meaning, it could be anything. But basically you wanna capture some sort of visual that you will then be able to look for in other cards. That is the answer to this question.
Okay. Got it.
You got it, Mark? What is your answer?
I got it.
What is your guide?
Her guide is the elk, as represented.
Ooh. Oh.
Nope. Haha.
It's really fun. Okay, wait. Oh,
It's so
biscuit.
close.
It was there for a second. Which represents her family,
Oh, okay.
which she is working to get back to.
Excellent. So what Sorry would not give up is her family as represented by
By the elk.
the elk. Okay. And I was gonna say one of the things here is that like you want it to be general enough that it should hopefully come up reasonably often, but not so general that it's always coming up. And you could play around with articles, so it's not just a elk, it's the elk. So if there was a card with like just a herd of elk, wouldn't necessarily qualify.
No.
If there was a
Yeah.
card with either just one or like a very prominent elk amongst others, that's
Mhm.
the elk, and it would be your guide. Perfect.
Mhm.
Love that. Bun or Haley? What do we got?
Can you ask the question again? Because
Yes.
I need a bit more brain space.
Yes, I will ask it again, and I will post it in chat, both Twitch and over in our chat. Oh god, my Streamlabs isn't logged in, so it's not happening over on Twitch. Blep. I will do it over here.
Love that.
In a world where everything can be bought, sold, or traded, what would you, the character, Rift, never give up, no matter the price?
Oh, the price.
So, I think I'll go since I have the High Priestess card. I think something that would be interesting for Charisma. Her guide I see as like scales, which if you see on the card here, you can kind of see like this pit on her
She's
chest,
holding
which kind of looks
scales.
like a cross. But it could be like it could be also scale, so it could just be
Okay.
like kind of the makings of a scale. Because for her, it's morality.
Ooh. I like that.
Which, as the High Priestess, it represents wisdom and intuition. So, your sense of right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Also seen in the scales.
Nice. I like it. Very, very cool. So you'll be on the lookout for scales of any kind, some sort of weighing and measuring kind of thing, representing that sense of morality. I like that. Very cool. Haley.
I love that. Right.
Like
I'm gonna say that we're gonna just use like personal freedom. In like she will not be restrained as per represented by the ropes wrapping the swords together. So yes. I don't know how that would work as a guide though. Just trying to think.
What about broken restraints?
Yeah.
As like the visual symbol of like personal freedom is broken restraints.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Excellent. Love those guides. Those are all fantastic. Lovely.
And now those cards are burnt, right?
They're not. They're gone. They're off to the side. They're not burnt. They're not on the pyre necessarily. So
Yeah,
keep them nearby and like reference them to remind yourself of what your guide is and what you're looking for. But yes, you're not gonna be able to use them. They are not gonna be in your past, future, or present. Okay, cool. That is all of the setup for that end. Now, while y'all do give yourselves one last shuffle if you want, whatever, and then put all of those cards face down in a pile. That is your future. And then you're going to draw 3 cards. That is your present, and you can look at those. And those are going to be the cards that you play out of as we explore. And I'm going to draw up our dream spread. So I'm going to draw 4 cards, out of that deck we made with your cards and my cards. So the first one is the sun. That's going to be one of mine. The sun. And then we have the world. Our third card in the spread is going to be the Empress. And then our fourth card in the spread is going to be Buns, 4 of Cups. Wonderful. Ooh, okay. I love that. Because I know what that card means. Okay. First card is the sun, so let me go and look up what that means for us. Boobity boobity boo. Nope, not there. I need boo boo boo. Okay. This is gonna be one of the ones. All of the tables. This game has a lot of tables. So before we've run this, I have always like written an adventure that's a little bit more specific and on rails. Now I'm going just off of the core book, and I'm looking at all of the lookup tables. And hello, welcome, Raiders! Now and then 64, dropping in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Sun, what is this? Swords and 7. Perfect. And what do we got here for that effort? Oh, I'm glad I thought about that one. I was looking at that one a lot in prep. Cool. We are ready to go. For Raiders just joining us, welcome. We are playing the Beckoning Dream, which is a deck builder tabletop game, and we're about to dive into the adventure proper. We just finished all of our setup, finished building our characters, and we're going to do the adventure. As you all fall asleep, you get that strange sensation of a liminal space ending, where you can't remember falling asleep. You just remember that the context of what has been happening, this must clearly be a dream. But it feels extraordinarily visceral and real in a way that dreaming doesn't always take on. Cold air is biting into your skin, soothed only by this claustrophobic feeling of swirling crowds that are surrounding you. Bodies press in, moving through angled, narrow streets blotted with haphazard color from awnings, clothing lines, and the dozens of fashions on display from the bustling denizens. Languages unrecognizable war against the familiar at the volume of a just distant waterfall, drowning out any sense of calm, while never quite becoming so cacophonous as to overwhelm you. It is a very busy, vibrant street that you are in. And as part of that, I want to describe some individuals that you are seeing. A lot of the people here are just all shapes and sizes. People that you would recognize as being familiar, sort of humanoid shapes. There are also some that are a little bit more squat and seem to be wrapped in all of these silken cloths and bands. Their heads are wide and almost like there's no neck. They just sort of like sculpt gracefully into shoulders as they like bustle and shuffle about with wide hats. The few that are talking are usually having their mouths behind some sort of scarf, and just occasionally you get the peak of long, wide mouths that cross the entirety of the face, sitting beneath beady little eyes. Just all of that seems to be like there's a general sort of diversity on display here wherever you are, but that is a noticeable population of people here that all bear this similar physiological strangeness. The way that this works, you now know what you are here for. You are here to find information about capturing and or hunting and killing tailed beasts, and from Grimma, a little bit of a side project, he wants information on the Morrigan. So that's about all you have to go off of. What we're going to do is this is going to be represented by an effort. An effort is you are all working against a static thing, just something going on that you are trying to push back against. That is going to be represented by my Sun card, which here I'm using the Tarot of the Divine, so it has a little bit of the Ra sun god depicting the sun. I'll do my best to like send a quick photo of this into recording chat so that you can make sure and be able to reference that art consistently. But yeah, that is what you're doing. The way that efforts work, it's going to go in initiative, which just basically means there's a turn order. You get to pick who wants to go first. On your turn, you'll select a card from your hand and reveal it against the sun. The sun has no suit, so you're not going to be able to, like, you don't have to worry about counters or anything, but it does have a value of 7. It's pretty strong. So you are working to fight against this effort. This hustling, bustling city is laid out before you. Somewhere here, the dream has brought you here to find answers. So you have to trust that somewhere there are answers here. How you are finding those answers is up to you and the cards that you play. So there's going to be basically a very blurred lines between like what is role play, what is exploration, what is any of that, and it's all going to be resolved through comparing the cards to each other. Haley, what's going on?
Can I go first? I'm gonna offer myself up first unless anyone else would like to go. Kind of give the vibe of how this goes. So I feel like we enter this area. The sun is obviously blaring down on us, making things a bit hard to see. with all the paths laid out in front of us, I'm hoping to find a bit more clarity in which way to go. So I would like to play. Wait, we need to pick cards. Do we need to pick cards, or do I just show you the card?
You just show me because my
Cool.
card's locked in.
Yeah.
It's just the sun.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm picking this card, the Four of Swords, and I would like to see here. You can see the sun is being represented on this card, and I feel like maybe we're able to narrow down the paths by these swords. Like, two of them pointing at the sun. Maybe we can narrow it down to like 2 paths that we could take to clarify our positioning.
Yes.
That's what I would like to do.
That is very clever.
Duel.
Amazing. I love that. Haley is clearly angling for an Onerigen, and I'm not going to be stingy. That is definitely an Onerigen. Onerigen is basically just like an inspiration point. It's sort of meta currency that you can use to modify things and make things either more powerful, less powerful, that kind of stuff. So because Haley is pulling inspiration from the cards and is like using the artwork to sort of portray what Rift is doing here. So Rift is like just getting a lay of the land, just like trying to figure out of all these paths, processing like intellectually, which one do I think logically makes the most sense? And that sort of intellect approach making sense with the swords. So there's no suit to counter anything. Mark, you were gonna ask a question?
I forgot I had myself muted because the dog was barking. I was suggesting to go next once
Okay,
you figure
perfect.
out what's going on.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, so swords, you got the 4 swords against 7. It's gonna be a setback. So you will take some stress for this, but you still get to pick your one. For Mark and Bun following along with what's going on, this is going to be in the section for interpret. So after cards are scored, you get to pick things that you want to do based on your interpretation, based on your score. For a setback, you only get to pick one thing, and you could pick those setback specific options if you want. And as you're picking, because I definitely want to set up a good thing to explain why Charisma's name is Karma on the overlay. So I'm going to give Rift or Haley the ability. What does Rift look like in the dream world? Is she exactly the same as normal material realm, or what's going on?
She isn't wearing all of her armor in this realm. She is in more like very basic linens, like what you would see in like maybe kind of, I don't even know how to think like that, Avatar, but like Avatar, the animated one, not the blue people one.
Yeah. The
yeah,
only
like
Avatar. We don't validate James Cameron.
The
on this
true
channel.
Avatar.
Exactly. Like think of like, how they've got those gorgeous, just like asymmetrical linen outfits that are all different colors.
Yes.
I love all of it. Yeah. So she's just wearing just like very basic.
Very cool. Yeah.
Linen clothing that looks like really nice. And but her stone skin is her armor in this place.
I like that. Yeah.
But otherwise she looks the same.
Cool. I love that. Okay. Amazing. So, as you are exploring, I love that you referenced the sun beating down. There is that cool harsh wind, and looking up you can see there are 2 moons here. One of them looks broken and shattered and almost like it's becoming like this strange like tail, like it would be the rings of Saturn in 1,000 years. But there is this cold blue sun sort of percolating down through all these covered awnings. It is tough to find your bearings here, and as you are moving, there is just a lot of sudden chaos going around. So what would you like to do for your selection?
I would like to brace.
Brace.
I'd like to reduce the stress. I take by half, rounded down minimum by 1. So hopefully that just reduces the stress entirely and I don't take any stress.
Yeah. It says minimum 1, right?
Yeah.
So you'll always take 1 stress.
Oh,
with brace.
I thought it meant I can cover him the minimum of 1.
No.
Which means that I don't take 0 stress.
Yeah, you won't. Minimum 1 means you never take 0 stress. And also, I'll be able to inform you, like, before you take stress, You're
Never
actually
mind.
you're actually not going to take stress right now. The effort that we rolled is very interesting. It has a little bit of a delayed stress mechanic, so we're not going to do stress right now. I'm going to tally it up. So you scored a setback, you would take some stress. That stress isn't happening right now, so what would you like to use for your choice?
I don't know. I don't really need to study, do I? Unless I can ask questions that are not on that list.
Yes, you can absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the things that you did in feedback last time that I
yes,
haven't done yet.
yes.
You can ask off
Yeah.
of that list. Study is basically
Yeah,
like,
cool.
what is going on? Like I just said, you're not going to take stress from the setback. That's weird. Like you could ask me for a study. Like, what the fuck is that? Well, what's going on there? You cheeky bastard. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, that's my question. Cheeky bastard.
Cheeky bastard. What are you doing? Okay, perfect. So for Bun and Mark's edification, normally when you're solving an effort, when you deal stress, you're knocking down that effort. It's like basically their HP. Once it reaches 0, then it's done. This effort works a little bit differently, and one of the different aspects is when you score a setback, clash, or countered, you would normally take stress from the intensity. Here you're not taking stress. I'm going to be tallying up the stress for later use that you would have taken. So right off the bat, you could see, and the way that this works narratively, as Rift is sort of like getting a lay of the land, intellectually processing what's happening here, those 4 swords of her card laid out before her, like figuring out which one to draw. There's all of these like market exchanges happening. This is a place of business and commerce. And you can see that all of a sudden there's all these little like spats and these rather like, I think Rift being an Earth Genasi immediately globs onto like, ooh, they're trading like gemstones. Like that seems to be like the primary currency here. And all of a sudden the gemstones are just turning a little bit dim. They're not as shiny. They're looking more crusted over. And there's kind of these like small arguments breaking out everywhere. Something has changed. And it seems that the state of things, people here in the chaos of what's happening either need to accept the change or find some way to fix it. And it's not necessarily that you are needing to figure that out, but subconsciously you will be impacting that as you explore the space and you're looking for things. So with just a little bit of a lay of the land, you know that you're not going to be taking stress as you go. Instead, it's going to be racking up and might happen all at the end. So that is what you get from your study.
Okie dokie.
And then from there, we go to Sari. What does Sari look like in this dream space?
Sari is very different in this dream space. Whereas she usually has a very Fae-like quality to her, she now looks completely human. She has tribal tattoos that come across her cheeks and down her neck, all the way down to her arms and fingertips that you can see. She is wearing elk furs in place of the tatters that she has sewn together herself. She looks very barbarian-esque, like she has come from a tribe of the wilds.
Very cool.
And Sari uses the 3 of Wands. Haha, there's a little bit of light. Where from the shade of a tree here, she sees one singular path that has been laid out, and she just lets herself follow it as she starts moving through this marketplace going, all right, come on, guys.
Nice.
Beautiful.
As she explores this path, what do you think Sari is subconsciously leaning towards? Is she leaning towards moving on?
There is no subconscious here. She is letting her chaos guide her.
Love it. Okay.
Whereas Rift is like, there's one of these 2. She picked one of those 2 at random.
Okay.
And
Cool.
was just like, okay, we're going this way now.
Excellent.
Beautiful. It's
What-
exactly what I was hoping for.
What
Aside
is-
from God.
Aside from God. Excellent. A sign from Sari. Sari the god. What is
Well,
the
no,
option?
God makes everything happen in a way that it's supposed to, and so it happened that way.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
You
Krista
said
can confirm this.
You said 3 of Wands, right?
Correct.
Cool. So that's still a setback. You only get to pick one, and you could pick from those universal effects, or you could pick from the wands list. What would
So
you like
she's
to
going
do?
to
Setback
choose
option,
the
right?
lucid shift setback,
Nice. Yes.
in which all allies gain 1 Oniragon
Mm-hmm.
and can look at the top of their future. If you wish, you can move that card to the bottom of your future.
Very cool. Yes. So that includes you. So all 3 of you can look at the top card of your future. If you like it, you can keep it there. If you don't, you can put it at the bottom. And you all also gain an Onerigen. So
That's not written on the cheat sheet, by the way.
Is it not written on the cheat sheet? I'm gonna fix
No.
that. Oh, the Onerigen
yes.
part? Yeah,
Yes, the
I think I
Onerigen
added that
part.
in the book, but not in the cheat sheet. Yes. So
So I can put it at the bottom.
sorry. Yes, you can.
Nice. Nice.
So sorry, charisma / karma and rift. So rift, you're at 2 Onerigen. Charisma / karma, you're at 1 Onerigen now. And sorry, because you did use your card artwork in your description, you are also at 2 Onerigen. I'm gonna give you 1, and then you got 1 from Lucid
Yeah.
Shift.
Very cool.
Nice. I love it when the cards just have what you want on them.
It's great.
Need one path? Get one path. Go.
Excellent. All right, and that's gonna bring us to. I assume if you want to, at the end of your turns, by the way, remember to draw up to your maximum awareness.
Oh, it's at the end of turn?
End of
Okay,
turn.
cool.
Yep. So.
Oh well.
So sorry, you would get to draw back up to your 3, and then do you want charisma to go next? Bun to go next? You get to.
Yeah, I can. I guess I'm just kind of sort of figuring out kind of what to do because it's like in my brain it seems like the best thing to do would be to pick like, you know, your strongest card, but then at the same time I have a card that kind of looks a bit more thematic, kind of like how when Haley used like her card to point at the sun, mine also has a little bit of like sun imagery. So
Well, okay, think about it this way. If it doesn't beat a 7, don't stress about the value because no matter what, it'll be a setback. So if
Okay.
I mean, and I don't think any of them are going to beat a 7. So like all match.
Yeah.
So I think don't stress yourself on that and think about whatever you're feeling most about it. That's what's good about the high number ones is that's like just ignore it. Like, and if it's not a suit, then it's all about just imagination.
The only way y'all are going to be able to beat a 7, just because y'all are starting decks and your biggest card is a 6, is if you help each other, and that's going to be able to boost your number up to the point. Especially now that you have an Onerigen, if you help or hinder, then you can use your Onerigen to increase the amount you help or hinder, so you could lower my card by a lot, and you could raise somebody else's card by a lot. So a lot of this game functions around the idea of like, you individually are not going to be able to do stuff unless you've got like a perfect card combination against what you're going against. In a situation like this, you really need to come together in teamwork to raise your values up enough to where you're going to be able to do multiple stuff in a turn.
Okay. So whew, I'm just a little nervous. I wonder if anybody else is nervous.
You're going to be great. You're going to be good. It's all good.
So the funny thing is about the Hand of God. So I'll be using my Ace of Pentacles, which, as you can see from the artwork, the sun is being held, which is represented by the pentacle, is being held by a hand.
Ooh, that's cool.
A nice guiding hand, which I guess I should probably describe how Charisma Karma looks.
Yes.
So Charisma Karma is while she normally has like very kind of out there features and stuff, she has like horns and like large ears and a giant tail. She seems very formless, so it's like she's wearing a veil that covers her face, and this veil has like kind of a glittery shimmery effect as if there's like diamonds sewn into it. And then it kind of flows down to where there's still like her kind of holy garb and stuff. So there's like that kind of I forget what it's like called, but like the priests where they have like the two.
Oh yes. The I'm forgetting the name too, but yes.
It's a church scarf.
The church scarf. Yes.
Yeah. The holy church scarf
Yes.
So there's the Holy Church scarf,
You
which
could
is in
write
shades
those
of like.
3 words, and it would tell you exactly what
I literally
it is.
Googled priest scarf, and it told me it's a stole.
A stole.
Oh,
S-T-O-L-E.
a stole.
A stole.
Okay.
Priest
So
scarf.
she has like a. I
Scarf
know.
is better.
The priest scarf is better, let's be real. So she's got like kind of a priest scarf going on, to where there's like sort of a flat white ivory, and then like in the middle is a very embroidered design in like silver and gold. She has like no shape, so there's no like appearing breasts and stuff. It's just kind of flat down, but there is like a long, kind of bustling skirt. But if you were to kind of look down, you could see like her feet, because towards the end it's translucent, and her feet don't have any heels on the shoes. They're just kind of pointed, jagged, like down, kind of like the front of shoes and stuff. She is also kind of wrapped in a few other layers and stuff, which has like kind of blacks and whites and stuff. But everything surprisingly has a lot of balance in terms of the design.
Nice.
Thank you. So yeah, guiding hand of God from the Ace of Pentacles, and which, as we are finding the direct path, there's just kind of like the guiding light and stuff in order to kind of confirm it, because as we see like diamonds and stuff kind of glittering down, this path brightens up.
Wonderful. And what would you like to use for your option? So it's a score setback because of value, but there's no suit happening. And what would you like to use for your option, for your effect?
So I can either use the
you are gonna
Pentacles
get
effect or a universal.
Yes,
Yeah.
so you can use the Pentacles effect or a universal, and you're all gonna get an Onerigen for the description. I like that y'all have all like keyed in on the sun being the cards you're against, and you're like, all right, which one of these cards has a fucking sun in it? I'm gonna,
Let's go.
let's do this.
Let's see. Trying to think. I guess it would be.
And we're allowed to talk amongst each other about.
You could table talk strategy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
If you wanted to, because I can use, what can I use Onerigens for?
When you help or hinder, you can increase the amount that you do so by Onerigen spending. And
Okay, so if you wanted to, Fun, you could help me.
mhm.
do you have a big card coming up so
And
you could be a
using it-
7?
I have so I could match a 7.
Which is a clash.
But
You get to pick
But
2.
a match is So maybe
Okay.
if you wanted to do that, but
So something
Or
I
you
can
could
do.
always decrease it by 2.
Let's see.
I don't know.
So here I'm just kind of looking at like the pentacle effects. Like, so
Mhm.
potentially something I can do is misdirect, which is reduce opponent's awareness. I'm not sure if that would help with the number.
That one
There's-
doesn't have an effect here in an effort. You'd be in a
Okay.
duel for awareness. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. There's also trap, which is choose an ally. This is just me specifically looking at like pentacle effects, just to see if
Yeah.
those would be useful, since we have like the specific card.
That
Choose
that
an
one
ally.
would-
Their next revealed.
I was gonna say that one won't be, because you're not being dealt stress right now. This one delays the stress until later. So
Okay.
trap
so
and
then,
misdirect are not gonna work.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. But plot, which is choose an ally. The next time they would draw a card, they can instead look at the top 3 cards of their future, select one.
That
That
one
can
you,
only be
and then
done
put
on
the
a
selected-
triumph though.
because it has triumph in the brackets
Triumph.
next to it. You can
Oh,
only do
okay.
that when you score triumph. Yeah.
And we-
Okay, then yes, then I will choose to do the help action for
Perfect. You're gonna help
Haley. Yes.
Rift. Yeah. So, and what you could do is, if you want to, you could spend either one or both of your own Nerigen to pump that up. So instead of just helping one, you could help by 2 or 3.
How much help do you need, Haley?
2 to clash, or 3 to triumph.
to triumph,
And I think I would.
or just success.
No. Clash. Interpret is success. Oh, sorry, yeah, because success, clash is sorry. Not triumph is double.
Yeah. So clash is if they're
Yeah.
equal. Success
Sorry,
is
I
if
just
you're more.
I was just
Yeah.
looking at them in order and I was just like the next one up. But so sorry, clash or success.
Yes.
So just do 2.
Yeah, because the difference
Okay,
between the
so I can use.
the clash of
It's
success
nothing.
is kind of moot unless you want to pick a success option, which there's not that many. So you could absolutely do clash and it'd be fine.
Okay, then I will do that just because it seems like
Perfect.
the most effective strategy. So I'll use one of my brain keeps wanting to say oligarchy.
Okay,
We did that too last time, didn't we?
last time I couldn't every word other than Onirigen came out.
I love it.
It's gonna either be I'm gonna accidentally say oligarchy or Oni-chan, so just be ready for that.
Oni-chan. Amazing. So yes, you Haley, you are gonna get to go, and you've got +2 on the value of your card. 1 from the
Yes.
help, and then +1 from 1 Onirigen spend from, in this world, karma, not charisma.
I am going to play the 5? Yeah, the 5 of swords.
Very cool. Yes.
And I just realized that that's not a rope being cut in half, that's 2 worms.
In our heart, it is a rope being cut in half.
Yes, in our heart, it's
Are
a
you
rope
sure
being
it's
cut
not a
in
rope?
half.
It looks like a rope.
It's worms, but I could if you.
You can see the bands of the
Yeah.
different and then the little heads.
It looks like a
Yeah.
worm being cut in half.
Yeah.
It really
maybe
does.
It's a worm being cut in half. But yeah, no, never mind. That's not broken restraints.
I would actually say it's close enough to a rope that I'm willing to say that is a guide.
Nice. Then I see my guide in this card.
Haha.
Aha! And I would like to ensure that Sari is running down the right path as I follow her.
Sorry, didn't care if it was the right or wrong path.
Yeah.
She was like, "We're picking a path."
We're picking
One
a path.
path.
Go.
So you picked out of the 2, which is fantastic for me, but now I need to confirm that at least that this is I'm using my intellect
Mm-hmm.
to ensure that this is the correct path now that we're down it.
I like it.
I agreed and I went with you. So we've gone down the chaotic
You're like,
choice.
yeah, this is the right one. You
What-
did good,
Yes.
kid.
So what is the correct path in Rift's mind? What does that mean? The correct path.
The correct path is going to lead us to a pub or tavern.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I like it.
That's it. That's the end of it. It's like
Perfect.
it's like immediately as information gathering place, pub tavern. The marketplace seemed too chaotic to make it worth our while with all the people starting to get into fights and all that kind of stuff. So it's just move on. Sari's running down a path.
Nice.
Let's find the pub.
That's perfect. So I will actually say, invoking the guide there's a benefit to the success that I didn't think of. You're still gonna get to pick 2, but because you had the help +1, that gets you to a 7 instead of a 5. And then if you invoke your guide to boost it 1 more, that means you've got an 8. So you score a success,
An 8.
which means that you also don't accrue any of that delayed stress. Instead of where as a clash you would have had some stress getting banked up. So what
cool.
are your 2 options that you want to use?
I would like to gather my friends as we chat. How's everyone feeling? Anyone pull anything fun since they last played a card?
Anyone within shooting distance of 7?
Yeah. Any within shooting distance of 7? Within 3 of 7.
I've got 3.
So that's within
My
4.
highest is also a
That's
3.
that's within 4.
Yeah,
And I will
I've got a 3.
I will say we're so used to 5e mind turn order. Remember that you can
I know I can
skip
go
a
to
player
anyone.
and like rack up a couple of helps on them to where like even playing a 3 could become an 8 with enough help over a couple of rounds. So that is a possibility. Is that
That's true.
it's the next time
Okay.
they reveal the card. So let's say that you gave a help to Mark.
Yep.
Don't let
Then
it
I
be
could-
Sari's turn, and then you could keep racking up that help for later.
All right. Yes. Okay. I'm going to say yes. We're going to skip you, Mark, because I'm going to help you, and I'm going to
Okay.
give you an extra help. So I still have 1 point left. So you've got 2 added on to whatever number you need, and then I'm going to pass the turn to Bun.
And you get to pick
Okay.
one more thing. So you did help, and you
Oh,
boost.
so I did a help, and I also am going to hinder.
Oh, nice.
No,
Yeah.
does that matter?
I mean, it will matter against the
lowers-
next person that goes.
Yeah, so it's a 6. So that if I pass it to Bun is not going to be able
6
to jump up
probably
to that
not
anyway.
make a difference.
No. I think Can I deal a stress to you?
You
Or is it-
absolutely deal a
'cause it's
stress.
Yeah, I'll do a stress.
Okay. Which direction are you aiming for? Are you aiming for status quo? A return to the past as you are moving through the streets, seeing all these vendors confused and like gemstones that before were the currency of the day, these priceless artifacts now like turning into like bits of coal and rock and just like not useful anymore. Is there which way is Rift sort of pushing this engagement? Does she want to push towards, nope, this is the new way, deal with it? Or is it like a return to normalcy?
No, this is the new way, move forward.
Okay.
It's a forceful acceptance of like what's happening.
Nice. And unless you have another thing in mind, I think the way that this is kind of happening is that Rift isn't like looking at that as like, no, we're here for information. That's not even my problem. But that attitude is like locking things in, like just subconsciously the dream is sort of accommodating that school of thought into, okay, this is the way things are. We have to press forward. And it's like you can see the glitter shaking out of those gemstones even faster now as tensions are still rising. There's still a lot more chaos. And so there's like, you sort of hustle and bustle into this tavern that you find. Like, okay, it's still loud in here, but it's not that crazy. But you could still, it feels like it's moving a direction, which might be painful for some, but it is progress. And you said you wanted to go to Bun's turn next?
Yes.
All right, Karma.
Okay, so am I just kind of sort of let's just burn a card to kind of be able to help?
I think, burn to
Mark.
boost. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait, I should have
I guess
spent both of my own Nigerians. Can I do that instead? I would like to.
You can spend both of your octogenarians to
Yes.
increase that, yes. So,
So you now have +3.
Sari has an effect of +3 for her next
Yeah.
card.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
Karma's turn.
Okay. I guess I will. I'm like trying to figure out a way to sort of like use these cards and say how I'm using them in a very like nice way, but it's really
Sometimes
kind
it
of
doesn't
tricky
work.
to figure out.
Sometimes it
Sometimes
doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's okay. If you can, if there is a natural, like, this art makes me think this, and that's what I'm doing in the scene, that can get you an Aerogen, which can make your helps and hinders better. So that all comes into play in some way.
Now it's like trying to figure out how to creatively use. Because it's like, in a sense, what I am doing, since I'm already going to get like a setback, that's just going to be how it be.
Yeah.
I'm sort of wanting to burn my lower value cards.
Yeah. You absolutely can, because there's theoretically no cost to that.
Yeah. So I think the next card I will be attempting to use would be my Ace of Cups.
Ooh. God, I love that manga
Which,
deck. That's really cool
Yeah.
looking.
right? Like they really went hard on like all of the stuff. Which I guess I'm like trying to think. So something that I can realize is there is a bird kind of at the top of this like fountain, which I could see as kind of being the thing that brings Sari to this particular path because of their innate nature for like kind of hunting and gathering, and like, you know, birds will usually be a good sort of guide to direction.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously in towns there are fountains, which is what the whole cup is. Like here is it's just a large fountain with a mermaid and stuff on it, which, you know, a lot of taverns are also named after mermaids, especially if they're by the sea. We don't know if we're by the sea, but we could be by the sea.
Yes, we are. I just decided.
We're by the sea now.
You're by the sea now.
The card said mermaid. That means we are by the sea. That is now the role of that card. So, yeah, that is me using my Ace of Cups.
Nice. And cups represents like observation, empathy, patience. And so as you are sort of steering the way, Rift is like, we need to find a tavern. That's going to be the calmest way to get some good information without being on these crazy ass streets. You start, Karma, your idea of like, oh, well, there's got to be taverns near like a port, if they had a port, and you see sails up above, like the tips of these high masts up above the tops of buildings, and you find a tavern that when you go inside, there is like this like central sort of like mermaid themed fountain in the middle of it. Now there's a little bit of a hubbub about like some of the gems and stuff encrusting it are starting to like dull and be strange, but there's still enough people that are like, whatever, I've got my drink, like it's fine, and like they're not too worried about it here.
Okay. So I should be using my action to also help. Sorry. Right, guys?
Yes. And if it wasn't clear, you got an Narragen for that, because that was a cool rendering of like you were using the card art to inform the scene, and I think that's dope. That is another way that we can be using those.
Yes. Okay. I feel like I'm just gonna be like kind of nervous and shaky, so I apologize to you guys and to the audience that I'm just like being a nervous Nelly about everything.
No, you're fine. You're doing
Fine.
so good. So
Oh,
good.
I should probably draw another word.
So you're gonna help Sari, and you can actually keep your own Narragen because that puts you to +4, which is gonna tie you with 7. So if you wanted to, you could bump it by 1. Because then that would be +5, and that'd be a success instead of just a clash.
Yeah, I will use my onigiri point. You're not gonna get the. I can't say the word. I just for the life of me cannot.
This is what I get for using like a real like dream term that is just so esoteric and pedantic that no one wants. Like, no, what is this Greek word? Not using it.
No.
What's weird is so I actually have a D&D character's name is Onirion, which is like the like, you know, Greek for dream and stuff.
Yes!
But it's like for the life
That's
of
what
me,
it is.
I
Be
can't.
with me, bud.
I can't.
Come on. My mind to your mind. No, I love it.
Don't worry, I still have plenty of. Okay, Onir. I don't know. My brain also just has so many different ways
Onirion.
of saying like.
Oh, Narragen.
Onirion, Narragen, Olive Garden.
This is Topo
Yeah,
Chico
we can't
all over
Olive
again.
Garden.
That poor Tolucas
This is-
Popolocas.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
amazing.
sorry.
So, speaking of Sari,
Yes.
it is Sari's turn.
Sorry.
And Sari, you got
So
a
that turns into
+5.
an 8.
Yes.
With the +5, this is now an 8. As I draw the 3 of Pentacles.
Ooh, okay.
And as you can see here, there is a gathering of people around a singular person who
Ooh.
is carving and writing onto a piece of wood. So Sari, using a little bit more cunning, realizes that this is a person of knowledge. And she is going to seek them out.
Excellent. I think you see this person in there, like, there's this quick like hubbub. Before I tailor like what they're doing, what are you gonna choose for your options? You get 2 options.
I have to go back down to the options.
Yes.
Hold on.
That's what
Please hold.
the quick reference has that like big
the
wheel of the
reference.
suits.
It's got the big wheel, and it's so easy.
Yeah, the quick reference is super useful for
There
the
we go.
interpret stuff. because it's got all
Although
the options there.
apparently there was
Other
things
than
missing.
I'm busy, okay? The holidays were busy
No,
for me too.
So we get 2,
Playtesting.
right?
Yeah.
You get 2, yes.
2 universal or from what was it?
Pentacles.
Pentacles. Okay. So first we're going to use a study.
Okay. What would you like to know?
What criteria must we satisfy?
Nice. Yes. So, basically this one goes in either direction. The difficulty of the effort starts at 7, and you can choose to either push it down to 0 or to boost it up to 14. So when you deal stress, you don't have to reduce the difficulty, you can raise the difficulty. And that represents either pushing it all the way to 0 represents moving on. We're not going back to the past. Whatever is changed is changed, and we're not going back. Moving it to 14 restores the past, echoes the status quo, and returns things to the way they were. So right now you are at 6. Rift has pushed it 1 closer to 0, sort of like it is what it is. The gems aren't valuable anymore. We're moving on. So right now you're at 6. If you want to keep pushing it that direction, you would eventually get to 0. And I will say that as you are doing this, now that you're in a position to actually find information of specifically what your group is looking for, it's not just about this conflict that's happening in the background. It's also about your group is trying to find information about tailed beasts and or the Monaghan. So as you deal stress to this effort, think about which one of those questions are you wanting to really hone in on and answer? Which one are you prioritizing in finding amongst this chaos?
Okay. What does revealed cards mean?
Revealed cards is, so you reveal, this one's always revealed, the sun, as part of this effort, and the 3 of wands that you just revealed is revealed.
Or 3 of pentacles, yes.
3 of pentacles, yes, sorry.
Now, does it count the helps or no?
Where are you looking at for revealed? What are you looking at?
Devastate.
Ooh, yes, it
because
counts.
we got a success.
Yes, it does count that. So you could absolutely do the difference. So either way, it's 8 to 7, or you could just do press, which would be 1 stress. So either way, but yes, it does count the helps and hinders
Equal to
in
the
that
difference.
value.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that means you can do both stress and
Yes.
thing, and then it's...
Well, I did a study.
You
So
did
I
one
did
study.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So that way we could figure out what exactly it was that we needed to do. Or a little bit closer to what we needed to do, which was we're deciding that we're moving on from whatever these shiny things are. Don't worry about your shiny gems.
Yeah.
Focus on the future. So we will go ahead and press. And I have 2 Oniron?
Onerigen, yes.
Onerigen, yes.
And
So I will...
For spending on Onerigen, you can do that when you help hinder, guide or bolster, or when you take stress, you can shield it. You can't do it to increase stress.
You can't do it to increase stress.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we will press and deal 1 more stress.
Dope. And I'm assuming you're ticking it down, going down from 6 to 5, moving that direction.
Yes.
So in this idea, you are now like, okay, this person clearly knows something. What are you really trying to learn about? Are you doing tailed beasts, or are you doing Monaghan?
Sari cares about the Morrigan because that is a part of her culture and gods. She recognizes that name being a part of the barbaric, Celtic-y, quote unquote. Where she's like, that guy knows something.
That guy knows something. And as you are walking up and seeing this crafter, there's all these it's in that strangeness of the symbols being it's in that fuzzy vision of dreams where you can see that there are symbols on there, but they're not really solidifying into something you can read until you look at it and sort of impress upon what do I think that's going to be, and then it just sort of shifts into that shape. And asking this guy, well, you could always ask the dead. They sort of walk around in the Undercity. They might know where she is. I've heard of her. I think she sometimes comes here, but the denizens of Lang don't really prefer her wandering around into their business. Kind of a damper on trade.
Oh, but she's so nice.
Depends on who you ask.
Well, I mean, death is death. It comes for us all. Anyways, so what you making?
I am making a story, although I don't have an ending in mind.
The ending should be death.
And the ending is usually death. I was looking for a little bit more of a pick-me-up, but...
Oh, okay. Maybe the death of the bad guy.
And who is bad? And as y'all are having this conversation, who's next in the order? Because I want to leave that conversation could continue as part of these cards that you're playing. So that was Sari's turn. Who comes next?
I could do something.
Yeah.
Not much. Something.
It's always something.
It's always something. I am going to... Yeah, why not? Let's just make shit up.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Join the party!
Whoa.
Yes, I reach into my pocket and I find these tiny little wooden discs
Okay.
that are like chopped up, like a wooden branch, you know?
Mhm.
It made into little discs, and I would like to use my dream magic to say this is the new currency in this world, and I try to like create something new in the world while Sari and Karma deal with the gathering of information. I try to calm the world because people are currently freaking out about not having money to pay with.
Yes.
So I do this.
Okay.
And I'm going to use this as my inspiration as the little chips.
Oh.
And as I do that, the little center glows. And I want to distribute them for fun.
I like that. So yes, 1000% getting on a Narragen from that because you're using the wooden chip to inform this. And I like this
There's a
idea.
little sun in the wooden chip too.
Yeah. I like the idea that you're sort of like, I'm going to make it calmer so that they can get better answers. So what is it? This is still going to be a setback because it is an ace to a 7, but what are you going to use as your effect out of this?
I am going to, I think, should we do a double help again? Does anyone have any fun?
I do have 3.
Okay.
That's the highest card I have in my hand right now.
Maybe I'll just I'm just gonna do a stress.
Okay.
I'm doing a stress to the sun, and so I'm just like, I'm trying to calm the room, which is the opposite of what the sun is trying to do to this.
Yeah.
The world right now. This dream right now.
And when do you have a particular goal in mind between Tailed Beast or Morrigan, or are you just trying to get...
I am probably looking for I'm happy that they're looking for the Morrigan because I feel like that was important, and Tailed Beast is now going to be just something I look out for, I think.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Cool. So I'll keep that in mind.
Knowing that they're going after Morrigan, or like Sari's going after Morrigan, it eases my mind and not having to think about that any further, and I can just focus on the mission.
You can focus on one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sort of going down that road. That means I can focus over here and I don't have to worry about that. Perfect.
Exactly.
And you start like, well, these are what I use to like do, and like one guy's like finishes his drink like, my buddy's a woodcarver. Like just like quickly like runs out of the tavern to go get, just figuring out like, I said so. This suddenly feels very cryptocurrency. Fart coins in, quick, go!
Yes. They're called bark coins.
Bark coin. There, nailed it. Perfect. Yes.
Bark.
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 Who's up next?
Oh.
Do you have
Okay,
something?
so I got something good in the future.
You
So
got
I'm gonna-
something good in the
Oh.
future.
So I'm gonna pass it. Who wants it? Just for fun. Who's got some fun?
I'm trying to think. I don't have a lot of crazy imagery with mine.
Do
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Do you want?
Do you want time to think?
Yeah, because like I said, right,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
kind of in the mode of like burning through all my low cards,
Yeah.
so I'm like trying to figure out how
that's
to
okay.
Yeah.
how to utilize
That's
them.
that's why I didn't bother helping, because it would have been a waste this
Yeah.
turn, I think. So
No, that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So, with the Two of Pentacles,
Mm-hmm.
as we're having this conversation about who's the bad guy, and Sari kind of, with a little bit more cunning than she usually has, she will talk about the oncoming storm and how that's going to affect the economy.
Ooh.
There's a storm here in the background. There we go.
Yeah.
As ships start crashing in the background.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yes, yes, yes. And you can see he starts to like scratch in like an oncoming storm and is like incorporating that into. But is nature the bad guy? I'm a little like who's
There's always
causing
an
this?
element of man versus nature.
That's fair. That's a core.
It's the struggle of life.
That's a core narrative. You can't get too far away from that one.
You can't. And there's nothing we can change about it, so we just have to accept it and move on sometimes.
Yeah. Could say that about them tailed things. They just sort of do it.
Ooh, what tailed things?
Big giant monsters. They come in and wreck all this shit. Well, it depends. Some of them. Well,
Maybe they're the ones causing the storm.
maybe.
Ooh, is that something that they can do?
Certainly, violence can. That thing is terrifying. I've heard some ships get lost because of curiosity, but I don't know much about that. I haven't gone to sea in quite
Maybe
some
they're
time.
hiding in the storm.
Maybe.
That could
What-
be part of your story.
What effects are you choosing?
We're dealing stress here.
Okay, perfect. So
Wait, no,
oh,
you've
what-
got a high card coming up, right? Okay, so we're gonna
Kaylee, you're
help.
muted.
We're
It's
helping.
okay. All I did was say,
Help! Help!
We're helping.
Help!
Um,
I need somebody.
and I've got 2, so I can spend 2 to
You
give
actually
you
have
3.
You have 3 by my accounting because you just earned 1
Oh.
for the storm card. So you have 3 Onerigen, and you could spend
How many
all
do you
3
need?
of those.
I have a 6.
Oh, so
You
only
have a
need 2.
6. So I will
So
give
I
you
need
2.
2. Yeah.
So
So
I
that-
will spend 1 and use the help and
Yep.
give you 1.
There you go.
Bun, go.
Okay. Now I'm just like. All right. So I think Karma might take a different approach to like with Sorry already talking to the woodcarver and now Rift kind of trying to make the new cryptocurrency. I think
Bartcoin.
Karma's gonna try to sort of go in and seek like information because she'll be the one to kind of hunt for information on the tailed beast. So I will use my 2 of Pentacles, which will be this. So what I had in mind is the person is currently like weighing like options and stuff, or what it looks like is there's like a less shiny kind of object and it's connected to a shiny object, so it's kind of like how the currency and stuff is like being visible and stuff. So she's speaking to a barmaid. This is the
Ooh.
little barmaid that she is speaking to.
I like that.
And
yeah.
so while she's kind of going through and like checking to make sure that the gems are of quality to be used for purchasing like stuff, she'll approach the barmaid to just be like, hello, I am here on a mission. I am currently seeking information on the beings known as the tailed beasts, and I was wondering if maybe you had heard anything given your work and stuff being a tavern maiden.
Well,
I figured you'd either...
we occasionally see some people come through that are a bit destitute. Looks like destitution might be the name of the day, as several people are struggling to figure out, now I need bark instead of gems? It's just this wild... Have you ever had a dream where you just feel like something, this is truth, and I need to... all my decisions must be focused around this truth, and you wake up and like, that is such fucking nonsense. Like, that is 100% happening right now. Everyone is just in full swing, like, shifting tides of currency. I love that Two of Pentacles is also often, like, used as a card for introspection of balance, and there's this like tipping point of balance between like the old and the new right now that you're sort of like swaying into helping this barman. She sort of helps you with this idea of like, we occasionally get some not a lot of people like talking about them because they're just, I mean, you wouldn't really want to talk about what destroyed you, right? But some people walk away from them, and it's these mythical creatures. It's something both personal and very distant. I think, was there one in particular you were after?
What is the one that is spoken of the most? Like, what tailed beast has like kind of the most recognition among folks?
The one that's at least the kindest, as far as you can, is curiosity. That one, a lot of the sailors focus on it, because if they're exploring, then there's danger, but it tends to be a danger that can reward you. At least that's what I've heard.
Interesting. And how would one meet this curiosity? Is it just by happenstance, or?
That I don't know. That sounds like something, if someone knows how to do that, that is... You might ask them, and she sort of points the way over to the other side of the tavern, where there is just a group of sailors that look a little bit like kind of gun shy, a little bit like worn out. And that was a press, that was one stress to the effort, correct? Is that what you were choosing for your option?
Oh, I didn't actually know. I was just kind of
Cool,
I was just kind of role playing along.
No, I love it. Yes. What is the option that is behind that role play there?
It was just kind of like, you know how when you have questions and stuff, you just kind of have like more follow-up questions when information is presented and stuff. So it's like, oh, what would be kind of, so it's in a sense of just trying to figure out sort of my guiding stuff. Like, okay, I got all the information out from them. Where would be the next place to go, which is...
So in this case, advancing towards knowing where you're going to get the actual information, that can be seen as doing stress. You're making progress against like the chaos of the moment and resolving it to more stability. So if you wanted to, that is just a simple press.
It was a stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then it is down to 3. And if you want, you can go to, you now have a little bit more of a lead over to these other people that might have more information for you. Who is going next? Is it over to Rift with the big cod?
Rift. It's a big boy cod.
Yes.
The big boy cod?
Actually, I just realized now that I don't think anyone else knows that they actually have to pick the next person going.
Oh.
It's not just... And so, like, I've just been silent, like, pick me! And you guys have just been sitting there, and I'm like, wait, I think you guys don't know you're supposed to pick. It's like popcorn, so, like, you actually choose the next person to go. Just for the future.
We've been doing
Anyway,
it like table picking, which is totally fine. Yeah.
I am going to... I see the group over in the corner that has been pointed out by Karma now. And I am going to be playing my 6 of Swords as I forcefully march my way over to the dark corner in the thing, and I am going to, this is like the 6 of Swords, which is like embracing positive change. So I'm just going to I reach into my pockets again, and I just scatter these coins, these new coins onto the table for them. And I'm like, this is the new change. And if you stick with me, Like we're gonna get rich together, and I'm going to ask them about the tailed beasts after we see how this goes. But my 6, 7, 8 against your 7 son.
Yes. And you do get on Naragen for referencing like the interpretation of the 6, along with like the dark corner. Like that kind of is like it's the that mountain over there is called Strider. Like it's the Strider corner. It's just keep referencing that.
Before you even said that there was like this group of people, I was going to use that card and just say I moved to the dark corner to find the Strider of the situation.
Yes, perfect. So you head over there. You sort of like classically like here's just a bunch of payment. Tell me what you know. And what is this materialized for? Because I want to know if I'm concluding it here. How much stress are you able to deal right now?
How much stress can I?
So you can.
How does this work?
You get to pick 2. You can press.
Deal.
And then
I can glare.
Oh, it's not dealing stress to you.
It doesn't deal stress to me.
Yeah.
Am I getting? It's not even adding any to the tally. No,
because you scored a success. So yeah.
Never mind then. I will. Oh, but I can devas. No, because that's only.
It'd be
wait,
for
what
2
did I get?
total.
+3, so 2 total. So
Yeah.
it's a devastate would be better than a stress.
So wait. You got an 8 versus the
Yeah.
card. The card's a 7, so the difference is 1.
Oh, damn it.
But you
Okay,
could pick
yeah.
the way that this works is you could pick both press and devastate, and you could do 2 stress. So that way there's only 1 more stress needed to deal, and then the effort's done.
Yes, then I will do that.
Cool. Because
I forgot about that.
one of the limitations is you can only pick each thing once unless you use the
Yeah.
wands to do deja vu.
Yes.
But this way you can do press and devastate, deal 2 stress, and the at least for the tailed beasts, you are getting like huge breaking. Like they just look at you like, I mean, we lost our ship to it. But a lot of the folks that come in from any of that, they go to the Temple of the Ineffable.
Thank you.
That's sort of
Appreciate the help.
they kind of collect a bunch of stuff. I'm not really sure what they do with it, but they seem to be interested in that kind of stuff. And
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate all your help.
We appreciate you. They're just like scooping up all these little wooden toggles.
I like grab and I like take like a good chug of one of their drinks and pop it back down, and then I walk back over to my friends.
It's fine.
We can buy more.
Yeah. We're in the bark now. Mark looks like she wants to go.
I was gonna say, Mark feels like looks like they're raring to go. So
Yes.
We are ruined.
Raring.
So sorry thanks the person and uses Ace of Pentacles
Mm-hmm.
to look outside and say, hey, it looks like the sun's going down with this sunset.
Yeah. Amazing.
We should probably get going now. Thank you so much.
To the temple.
And I assume you want to deal that last bit of stress, complete the effort.
Yeah.
Wunderbar. You do score the setback. Okay, so. All right.
How much stress did we take? Are we dead?
Yeah.
We just die on the table.
Worse not being able to like cancel it out or deal with it when it's happening.
Here's what I want to do. This is the way that it's supposed to do is that I'm gonna retailer the effort from the book into a little bit more of the scenario that we're working with. So what I want to do is, if you want to go, don't do it right away. We're gonna do it on the count of 3. We're gonna do a little countdown. If you want to go to you're gonna find out the last little bit of information you need for both. If you want to go pursue the tailed beasts first, I want you to put up a hand with some sort of odd number on it, 5, a 3, a 1, that kind of thing. If you want to do tailed beasts. If you want to do Morrigan first, I want you to put up a hand with an even number, 2, 4, etc. So on the count of 3, put up either an even number for Morrigan or an odd number for tailed beast. Nope. This is
Let's go.
pure instinct. I love this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. A 5, a 1, and a 1. Or is that 2? 2. So
That's a 2.
amazing. So Sari wanted to go to the Mardigan, and you
And
two
only
wanted to
because, only because the Morrigan was like ambiguous in the storm,
Mhm.
whereas like we've got a temple to go to.
Oh
so,
no!
like,
There was this city of the dead that we could go to.
oh, is there?
Sorry.
That was
Oh,
your
yeah.
next lead. I would say
Yeah.
that like in that horrifying way of like the dream suddenly like gets a little bit spooky. Rift and Karma are both like, okay, we got it. Going to the Temple of the Ineffable, whatever that means. That's a weird word. Let's go there. And Sari is like, oh, we're going there. And the guy you had been talking to, this artist, like just grabs your arm and pulls you back in. Go to where only whispers are known. And you just see this blank, like mannequin face that kind of curves up into these two voids that there's just no skull there. It's just this like weird bone that shifts back up into a forehead and it splits down the middle and you hear it whispering cacophony at you. And you are going to take 7 stress. That is the amount that you banked up. So we're going to get to learn how you deal with stress now. So easiest way to deal with stress is you can flinch, which is discarding a card from your present to your past. That absorbs 1 stress. You should have 3 cards in your hand, so you could very easily deal with 3 stress that way. From there, you can reduce your awareness by 1 to absorb 2 stress. You can burn a card, which means it just goes away. It is gone, vanished. And that absorbs 3 stress. You get to pick it from your present if you have cards in hand, or your past if you have an empty present. Or you can blind burn. Whatever the top cards of your future is, without looking at it, you can just pitch that to the pyre. You can say bye-bye to that. So however you want to do, you basically just have to like do enough stuff to sum up to 7, and then you're good.
So how much is blind burn for?
Blind burn is 4.
Okay.
So you'd be able to, theoretically, you've got 3 cards in hand. You could discard all of them, blind burn the top, and then you're good. Because that would be 7.
But you should always just like discard the top 3 though, right? And then you can always go back into your past to burn from there, right?
Yes. If you wanted to, the math gets a little bit awkward because it's like it's 3 to put them all in the past, and then 3 for a scene burn, and then you'd have to do something else to get rid of that last 1 because it's 7 total.
Oh yeah.
You could spend Onerigen to absorb some of this stress. You could spend Onerigen 1-1 to absorb some stress.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you wanted to, you could discard 3, burn 1. You could choose like the card that you like the least out of your
I think
past
that's what
and
I'm
burn
gonna
it,
do.
and then
Yeah.
spend an Onerigen to absorb the stress. Rift doesn't
what
have to
I'm
do
going
this.
to do.
Just sorry. Rift doesn't have to do this.
Just
It's
sorry.
just sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're blind burning.
Okay. Blind burn, and what'd you burn?
Why? Because I know how to count cards.
Yes.
That is, yeah.
I already
that's
have the
very
highest
smart.
one in my hand, so.
Yep.
All
You're not-
right, turning it over. Ace of Swords.
Very yes. Perfect.
Oh yes, that's awesome. That's so good.
Amazing.
I already have the highest card in my hand, so I'm not gonna burn
That's
that.
so yeah, that was great.
Excellent. So, and I'm assuming you discarded your present, and then for
I
the
have not
other
yet.
3 stress. Oh, okay, cool.
I am going to burn 2
You only
Onirigen.
need to do 1. Oh.
Oh yeah. 2 Onerigen, so that absorbs 2 more stress, so you're up to 6 total, and then you can just
And
discard
I'm gonna
1.
burn 1. Yep.
Just
burn one or
discard, not
discard?
burn.
Discard.
Discard.
Yeah, you only need to discard. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll get the last stress, and you're good. Boom. Nailed it.
Boom.
Very cool. By the way, counting cards, 100% part of this game. You're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do that.
Yes.
1000%.
I
I love
have-
that.
2 of my highest cards in my hand. So I
That-
was like,
Yes.
I'm good.
That makes sense. You're just gonna be like, I'll pitch whatever this is. There's no way it's that valuable. And there. I'm good to go. Wonderful. You have resolved that effort, and you are moving deeper in to the dream. You're heading towards the Temple of the Ineffable. Double check something. Yes. Moving through the streets, you eventually arrive at this mess of geometry. This horrendous clash of architecture and design choices that just feels utterly at odds with everything else around it. It looks like it is supposed to stand out by looking as close to a beautiful trash heap as it can be. Those moving around on the outside all have these yellow silken bands all wrapped around themselves. They are not like clothes proper. They are literally like long spools of silk that have been wrapped around them to create clothing as you move through the city. Moving in, you are welcomed in with relative ease. There doesn't seem to be anyone necessarily waiting. And you are brought before a creature. Robed in yellow silk with traces of red. There is a yellow silken mask across its face, completely blotting out whatever its face might be. And you can see it is actually like sort of sitting cross-legged, floating in the air. You're brought into this room that is all of these pillows and couches and large, comfortable surfaces, but there's an air of like stagnant and smoke happening in the space. As it sort of floats in front of you, it kind of hovers around, turning in place. It is playing a flute carved of ivory in these silk-covered paws. It's like wrappings around. If you saw Kingdom of Heaven, like the leprosy king, how his hands were always just like completely wrapped and bandaged up. It's kind of like that. And yet these notes are being plucked, is blowing this loathsome melody from beneath its mask that is just sort of like, it's prickling at you. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's giving you the ick. And as you are here, you start to sense this like, this need to prove the self. This creature is communicating via its music. And as you are about to engage it, there's this like you are suddenly cognizant of being back in that reclined chair that you were in, awake. The mask with the spiralized eye turns to you. Sorry, I was detecting some oddities in your vitals. Reaper suggested that we pull you out, and I thought it wise to acquiesce.
Doing fine.
Were you?
I met a creature.
And and were you? And you look over to Sari, and there's definitely a noticeable like teardrop of blood running down from one eye across her cheek.
Well, maybe not all of us.
It would seem that there are some aspects of this ritual that cross the barrier between the mental and the physical. We'll take a small rest, and then we'll get back to it, if you are still willing. Very well. So what I'm trying out here is a different way. Normally we would like pause, continue the dream later. We're doing in the book it is suggested the alarm clock way of ending a session, which is we didn't get to the end of like the story of the dream. You have all woken up, and we're going to do a little quick XP totaling. So we're going to do the reflection ritual at the end to give y'all some XP, and that way you don't have to memorize like where your cards are and everything. We will just shuffle up and start playing again next week, and we will.
Oh, that's fun.
We will resume where we were in this dream next time.
I'm gonna spend an Onirigen to not wake up, so we have to keep playing.
Amazing. I will say we could absolutely keep the Onirigen. I do have those noted, so we'll keep the Onirigen totals because y'all have been absolutely crushing it on like describing the cards and using the artwork and stuff. So, real quick, did you learn anything important about the challenges ahead of you?
Yeah.
Yes, I say yes.
What did you learn?
I would say
Show your work.
we have
That wasn't part of the question.
Okay. We learned about curiosity, which is a tailed beast.
Yes, we learned about how tailed beasts are like dangerous, and that it's going to be like a like some sort of ship ride ahead of us or something like that, which we learned, like a boat, some sort of ride somewhere on something, whatever vessel our dreams conjure. But that's what we learned, that right?
Flying submarine that looks like a whale.
Yes.
This is my hope.
This is my hope. Amazing.
I'm gonna go through all of my cards to find the perfect art card for the vessel, and then that's what it'll be themed off of.
Oh,
We
and then we
learned
also
that
discovered
we have to go to the
oh,
city of the dead for the Morrigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
the
And-
Lang. I think it was what it was called.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, you heard Lang. You heard a lot of stuff. I love that. I wanted to hear what you learned. I knew you learned stuff, but I wanted to hear some stuff that you learned. That's cool. Okay, so you definitely get that XP. That's a yes. We did not define any dreams because these are sort of pre-existing characters, but do you feel like any of your characters made significant advancement towards a more personal goal rather than just a mission goal? I don't think so, but if anyone has an idea. Oh, Rift? Haley had an emphatic yes.
No. Yes, because I immediately, two things. One is just an observation that Rift is finally being able to ask questions in her mind without an answer replying. So this is like a real like step forward in like trusting herself and breaking free of those like restraints that she was like starting to feel. So I just wanted to add that into it. And then yeah, the I can't remember the second thing.
That's okay. No,
That's fine.
I like that. I wasn't expecting that to be a yes, but I feel like that's a really cool moment to call out, is that Rift is being able to sort of call and response without a response. She's getting to inform her answers.
Yeah.
And that's a really
Oh
cool.
yeah, and the confidence in being able to create that new currency was just was fantastic. Like it was a confirmation that this is a dream world and that we, with our imaginations, can create as long as it makes sense, you know, which was fun. I think
That's very
I'm going to
cool.
take both of those.
Yeah. Pam is helping Rift to write the founder of Barkcoin onto Rift's CV.
Exactly.
Amazing. So that's yeses for both of those. That means that just because what were you gonna say, Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, Sari is regathering herself in a way, picking back the pieces of her own culture between seeing herself in the dream and remembering one of her old gods. This is a name that she remembers from before the Fey Realm.
I love that. Yes. I'm just making a note for purposes of sorry stuff.
And
Future things.
Charisma has a whole new self.
Charisma's
that
got
we
a
get
whole
to
new
learn about.
bag.
Right?
That we
Whole
get to
new
learn
bag, no heels. We just rock in.
I
Yeah,
also
I know. Like with Charisma, it's, well, she also has a new name, but I don't think she's currently discovered her new name quite yet. I think she knows that she, like, kind of in her head is still like Charisma, so it's like, you know, speaking and stuff, whereas she wants to head towards being Karma, which is who she properly kind of sees herself as, because I don't see, I guess, too much in her development besides like kind of seeing who she is here and then trying to unpack that, because she's just like, wow, I don't have like any shape or form to myself, but I look lustrous and fantastic.
I like,
Because, you know, she's covered in like, you know, yeah, she's like covered in like, you know, refined like jewelry and golds and silvers and all that stuff, and like, so I find that that's kind of a nice thing for her, because kind of in her background, I can't spoil anything though. I can't spoil anything why that's particular to her background to be draped in finery specifically.
I love it. But yeah, that's very cool. So, did not expect that, but I 100% love the answer. So yes, you're gonna get that
cool,
XP as
yeah.
well. And then
Nice.
you
Don't
did
tell us we don't get XP.
you did
We worked
resolve,
hard.
you did resolve one of the cards in the dream spread, so you're gonna get that XP. And circling back to the new playtest mechanic, because Bun, you have the High Priestess as your Foresight Arcana in your deck, you get a bonus XP, just you. It can only be spent towards that specific High Priestess boon. But you do get that extra XP.
So you got 3 regular XP and one
bonus
One-
High Priestess one.
yeah. So yeah, one
Okay.
High Priestess XP.
Yep.
That's cool. So the cards
Okay.
themselves level up XP, and then yeah, nice. I love this.
This is a
Man, I can't wait to get version 2 of
Yeah.
the High Priestess
So
card.
that's the thing, is you can use that High Priestess XP plus 2 of the ones you got normally. My fingers are doing Spock stuff to
Yeah.
get that High Priestess full boon and be able to use the High Priestess as a card that does the whole like Major Arcana functionality when we do our next dream. So that's kind of we've added that mechanic in off of our last session of like, it'd be cool to play with Major Arcana from the beginning, and that would be cool. So this way, what you could do is you could put a Major Arcana in from the get-go. It earns you a little bit of that extra XP so that you can get that boon sooner, play with it, feel dope doing it, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you might see that next time. I'm super excited we're getting to play the system more. This was super fun. I hope y'all liked it. I hope you liked it at home, dear audience. If you liked it, join the Discord so we can talk about it. Join our Patreon, and you'll be able to potentially vote on, as Raz ramps up in the new year, potentially looking at bringing Tales of Misadventure, or is it Tales of Misadventure? Yes, Tales of Misadventure back, which we would love. That if you are not familiar with Tales of Misadventure, that was our Raz's amazing show that was like every little like month was like a new system that they were playing in a completely different arc and all new characters. And hey, if you join the Patreon, you might get to vote on what system, including this one, they'll get to play for their premiere return of Misadventures. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We are going to be doing some Sunsets over Psy. I'll be back in the GM chair doing some Cyborg as we do some cyberpunk craziness tomorrow.
I'm so excited. I've got my cyborg character printed out. I'm ready.
Yes. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Maybe it's
Full cosplay tomorrow. I'm excited.
maybe it's the day we finally get canceled because I'm being a little bit fun with our plot for
That's
cyberpunk.
I'm excited.
It's the year 2025. We're more punk than ever. We're too fucking rad to be canceled.
Yeah.
You'll never stop us. I think that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, playing with us, and watching us. This is super fun. I enjoyed it. I hope that you guys, if you liked what you saw, join up the Discord. I'll post the link to the playtest document for the Beckoning Dream. You can go and play this yourselves. And until then, be good to yourselves, be good to others, and are you ready for more tales?
Wait.
Always!
Goodbye, everybody. Stick around for a raid. We'll be raiding. Bye-bye.